Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob, and today we are going to be continuing and also finishing off the narration and character voice acting for the Such is the Joy of Our Reunion story. Alright then everybody, it is time for the finale and to wrap up this story and see where this one leaves off once more. But before we do so, as always, to anybody who bumps into the voiceover through this very episode, you can find the full playlist in the description of this very video, together with all the other Sui stories up until this point. And if you wanna listen and watch any of the stories that you didn't have time to catch up to so far but were interested in from Arknights, you can find them all pretty much on the channel that have been out so far in the game. Just go to the channel video section, type in the name of the story that you're interested in, and you will probably find it very easily. And that includes, of course, the main story as well, all the way up until the current episode 14 as of this recording, that is. So yeah, enjoy, and thank you very much. But yeah, finale time. Time to wrap up the story and see, like I said, where it ends and what it sets up next. And of course, this final episode will be including quite a lot of extra bonus material. I will be including the 3D CG trailer that comes with this menu as well at some point, even though as kinda is tradition at this point, they are not really being super accurate to story elements, but they do include story elements in, and I still like to include them anyway, so that will be included in today's episode. The boss battle stage, of course, and all of that. The descriptions of the S and EX stages as well, because they are they're keeping up with the theming of the rest, and I will be also including the medal stories as well that are on them. They have quite the interesting poetic messaging on them, and of course this is the final episode, so I'll be including my final thoughts on the story, and you know, just a regular how I regularly feel about when I'm done with the story, pretty much. But yeah, this episode took a couple of extra days to make, mostly because to keep it in theming with this episode, let's say I was cooking something up. I was cooking something up for a specific section of the story today, more so experimenting with something else just to see how it would feel and work, but hopefully you will enjoy that. And yes, I know I'm teasing right now, but be patient, let it hit you at one point in the story when you follow along. Don't skip ahead. Don't skip ahead and just spoil yourself. Just let it come naturally. But yeah, anyway, let us begin with the quick little recap, and as always, if you want to skip that, you can do so with the timestamps down below in the comment section of this video. But to anybody else who is gonna stay along, let's begin. So then, last time we began with Blaze arriving at the Ning Manor on Jingju's invite. There, Jingju confesses to her that she is a daughter of the Nings, and to her real name being Ning Yin. Ning Yin also tells Blaze that she has met Blaze's father when she was younger, and that he did for a while live in the Ning Manor with them because of the work he was doing for them. Meanwhile, Lazy gets a visit from her colleague, Ji Zhen, who in his own way pokes her to keep on with the investigation. Back at the Ning Manor, Blaze has left, and Yin has a discussion with her grandfather about wanting to stay in Baizao and not go with him. She also declares that, as a Imperial Historical Cabinet member, she wants to record his story but can't do it because of her current clarity of it. Sometime later, Blaze and Lazy finally meet up, and they decide to use the invitation from Mobofu to enter the feast and meet with the True Lung. And speaking of the True Lung, in the palace a meeting can be seen between him, the Grand Tutor, and Grand Commandant. The meeting is about the upcoming feast and the Lung giving his verdict about the bestial Sui during it. Then we go ahead to the start of the feast. In front of the palace, Ning Tisha and Liang Shun meet and discuss current matters, but also Tisha mentions that she feels like the two of them have become estranged over the passing months. Over in the kitchen area, Blaze and Lazy are preparing to sneak into the banquet, while the Grand Commandant's message reaches Zuo Xianlia. In another place, Zuo Le meets with Yi, and Yi gives some information to Zuo because he sees a kindred spirit in him, and because it is possible that the fate of the siblings will at some point lie in Zuo Le's hands. Back at the palace, the feast is just about to start proper and Lazy jumps in front of everyone to address the true Lung, but a great fiery blaze hits the banquet. Chaos erupts, and as everyone is trying to get to safety, Ningyin runs into Blaze and is covering for her escape, but gets knocked out herself by an Imperial guard, the very same one who delivered her once to the Nings when she was an infant. Blaze then runs into the junior drill master who is trying to take her in because of Blaze's true identity as the descendant of the treacherous Grand Preceptor. Lazy then steps in to cover for Blaze and yeets her out of the palace with her lightning abilities. Sometime later, Blaze wakes up at Yu's place, who found her unconscious in the streets and brought her back. Yu then prepares the special tangerine cake that Blaze was looking for all this time. It was him who was preparing these cakes in the past for her father Gu Xuan. The reason why they were so sweet and no one could make them? Very simple. They had to last the long journey to Victoria, and extra sugar does help. Blaze then finally seems to put 2 and 2 together and has clarity now on her whole past, it seems. Elsewhere, Ning Shu visits Yu Cheng in prison, and the two have a discussion about the case from 40 years ago. Lazy, in the meantime, is also in prison and has also a visitor. Ji Zhen confirms and confesses to her his crimes of arson, but also asks her if she wants to bring the truth still to light. And yeah, that is pretty much where we left off now, so let us continue. And continue we shall from the rest of stage 8 all the way to the end. But before we do so, let's also include a quick little description of one of the new enemies on this stage, and then we head right into the story. Our new enemy here is called simply Wealth, and it says, abomination born of the people's longing for a better life. Approach it carelessly, and copper coins will come at you in a way that you did not bargain for. Yep, they hurt. They definitely hurt. But yeah, we continue on with Stage 8 and the after story, Stage 8 titled Golden Rice Crust. So let's begin.
Yu Cheng, that is the truth behind the Grand Preceptor case you seek. Do you have any further questions? You've spoken at length, yet you've said nothing about your role in these events, Mr. Ning. Why did you send someone to kill the Minister of Justice? Do you not already have the answer, Deputy Minister Yu? Was it not you who accused me years ago of having the minister murdered to stop him from investigating and save myself in the chaos? You need not be in such a hurry to discredit yourself. There was one question that perplexed me for a long time. Why did Gu Xuan stay at your house when he returned to Baizao nearly a decade later? It was not until I saw that girl at your house did all the puzzle pieces fall into place. He narrowly escaped with his life, yet he still returned to Baizao, not only to find the truth of what happened, but also to search for the daughter he left behind. It seems he did not tell you much. Yes. Most of what follows will be mere speculation. If I'm wrong, feel free to laugh in my face. I heard that after the Grand Preceptor's suicide following accusations of treason, the entire nation was in uproar and Mandarins distanced themselves from her. Yet, one Academy student dared to honor her in public. It was thus that he stumbled onto the Grand Preceptor's home as the belongings within were being confiscated. In his hurry, all he could take away was a baby girl, just born into the family. As it so happened, his own daughter was recently born as well. At his wit's end, he tried to flee Baizao with his wife and the 2 babies. As a scholar with no background, it didn't get far before the Imperial Guard captured him. Perhaps out of compassion and wanting to keep the Grand Preceptor's bloodline going, the Imperial Guard spared the scholar and the Grand Preceptor's child, instead taking the scholar's daughter. I do not know what Gu Xuan was thinking at the time, but it was most likely he had no other choice. This child fell into the hands of the Minister of Justice, her bloodline obvious with a modicum of research. But, as it turned out, how to handle this child of an outsider was a delicate conundrum indeed. It was around this time that you, Mr. Ning, long dissatisfied with the minister's extreme methods, decided to take the ultimate risk: assassination. The Grand Preceptor's case implicated many, and it seemed fitting that the blood-stained Minister of Justice met his end through retribution. With the court's turmoil resolved, the True Lung allowed the blood-stained curtain to finally fall in this fashion. The only unresolved question left is that child. Based on how things are now, she was taken into your care. What this entailed is not hard to guess, but as for the why of it... If I recall correctly, Mr. Ning, you enjoy the tutelage of the Grand Preceptor as well, correct? Oh, Yu Cheng, had you not been absorbed in judicial work or confined in this cell, I shudder to think what that meticulous mind of yours might have accomplished. It's terrifying. Truly terrifying. You flatter me. I'm nothing more than a fool compared to Gu Xuan. It is simply because I have met far too many people in my capacity as Deputy Minister of the Judicial Review Office. The more one sees, the more one learns. Now that I think about it, the dish Gu Xuan offered to the True Lung at the Feast of 100 Delicacies wasn't merely an act of suicide. It was him reconciling with the truth. Before he passed, he did not tell me the truth, but he did divulge the whereabouts of the Grand Preceptor's orphan. He must have hoped that once I found the truth for myself, I would also choose reconciliation. Yet I could not. All I could do was use my methods to find the people still left, the ones you care for, and force you to spit out the truth. All things considered, Mr. Ning, you are no villain. Perhaps just a coward. Hate me all you want. To see that child once more has always been a wish of mine. I will go and seek an audience with His Majesty.
You know everything?
I only just found out. I still want to ask you...
How are you so calm about all this?
It was a suspicion I hid away in my heart for many, many years. One I have finally found proof for. Like a thorn stuck in your palm. It may bleed a bit when you pluck it out, but you'll feel much better afterward. Why won't you say something?
I don't know how it came to all this. Should I feel sad or angry right now? I don't know. All I know is that my mind's a mess and my heart feels like it's being stabbed. Who the hell am I supposed to set ablaze with this fire crawling up my throat?
Well, I have a question for you. Blaze, can you tell me about Gu Xuan, my father? What sort of man was he?
He was an idiot, a nerd and a liar. I hate lies. I've seen too damn many of them. Greedy lies, cowardly lies, sneaky lies. But never one that demanded a lifetime of commitment. One that cost him his own daughter and himself. All to protect someone who had nothing to do with him. How could you be so stupid?
It reminds me of a story I once read. There was once a guard who watched over a rest station by the river. One day, he saw a flood coming from upstream. He wanted to run upstream and tell the people there to close the sluice gates. But he had only run halfway when he saw the river was rising too quickly. It was too late to close the gates, so he immediately decided to turn and warn the villagers downstream to flee. Back and forth he ran, until finally he was consumed and swept away by the flood. He didn't manage to do anything or save anyone. Get to the point already. Would you say this man's deeds sound familiar? Fine, I get it. Well, I don't really get all the details of your whiny-ass story, but you're talking shit about him, aren't you? He wasn't a bad guy, okay? He was just a... I know you've got good reason to blame him, duh, but if he was the one who threw you away, why would he spend so much time coming back to look for you? I thought I would be the one consoling you, not the other way around. Blaze, you're infected, right? Wait, when did you figure that out? Man, you're too damn clever by half. Sorry, I didn't mean anything outward. I was just thinking that it really should have been my fate to be. The hell are you even talking about? What, you think you've done something wrong and deserve a worse fate? Please, my life is awesome. I've got lots of buddies and I found a dream of mine. If anything, you're the one who got it bad. Growing up all by yourself in that big old mansion, alone and miserable. It almost sounds like you're roasting me. I'm not! But I understand. I understand what you mean. Oh, right. I still haven't asked you what your actual name is. Juhuang. Go Juhuang. It's the name Dad. He gave me. Wow. I forgot how long it's been since I last told someone my real name. Well, that's it. That's the last of my secrets. A blazing candle to ward against the dark. Zhu for a candle, Huang for a blaze, and the family name Gu to ward you. It really does sound like a name he would pick. Blaze? Would you say I've only really gotten to know you now, after all this? I guess so, yeah. Wait, no, I've still got lots to tell you, and I need to bring you to Victoria to have a look around. My mom, or rather your birth mother, you should probably go and see her. She's still alive? Who said she was dead? She's still hale and hearty. She lives in a small town out in Western Victoria. Once everything's wrapped up here, I'll take you to her. She definitely wants to see you. Alright. Why are you crying? I'm not. But you're the one who's about to break into tears any second now. I'm just happy. I never thought I'd suddenly find myself a little sister after all these years. Who's ever heard of sisters like us? And besides, we don't know yet who's the little one. I've been through a lot today. Can't you let me have this one? And there you were consoling me. Look, I just wanted to say, from now on, you're not alone anymore, okay? Man, isn't that lovely? Out of the myriad flavors in this land, the taste of reunion is the sweetest of them all. Really now? Damn it, what am I tearing up for? That's the least of my worries settled. Oh, right, that judicial officer at the Forbidden City last night. Lazy. She was being held up by that Imperial Guard lady when she set me flying out of the city. What should we do now? This isn't over quite yet. I need to go and finish off what I should have done in the first place. What are you planning to do? Demand an explanation, for everyone's sake.
"100 years it has been." He returns once again to where this game of Weiqi started. The board is covered in cobwebs and dust, a single black stone at the center. He extends his hand to brush away the grime. "Where are you up to?"
Got a meal to deliver.
"If you're going, then who's going to man the restaurant?"
At this hour? It's past closing time.
"Gonna open tomorrow?"
That depends on my mood tomorrow. Hard to say right now.
"Why do I get the feeling that you want to call it quits?" "Why by me? But you still owe me 6 months of wages. Settle that and I'll let you go."
You're so money-minded. How about all those staff meals I cooked for you? They must be worth a few months of debt. Fine, fine. On the right of the stove in the kitchen, the third brick from the corner. The last of my spare cash is under that brick. Take it.
"I've been with you for quite a few years now."
Yep, 15 whole years. You've stuck around the longest out of all of your associates, Candleholder. Means we were really fated to be.
If I kept reminding myself that I was a candle holder of the Sui regulator, I'm afraid I wouldn't have stayed that long.
To be honest, it's been years since I've reminded myself who I really am too. Not like I was trying to remember or not, mind you. Whether as a man or beast, I found this life full of delightful flavors. Nothing to complain about.
Best you keep not remembering. I fear if you do, you'll forget the taste of man. Your palate will grow dull and numb, and your cooking skills will go to waste.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too happy with that either. But if there's one thing I'll never forget, it's that my trouble-making brothers and sisters still need to eat. Not to mention the one that's most troublesome of all. Though, considering how long it's been since we last saw each other, it's hard to say what he's like now.
You know the consequences of delivering this particular meal today, right?
Yeah, more or less. It's obvious. Like not keeping cotton by the stove. The Sui regulator's not going to be happy if we have a family reunion. Also, if a fight breaks out at such a delicate moment, you might not be seeing me tomorrow. I've made a lot of food and met a lot of people these past few years. My wish was for every customer who walks through those doors to have a tasty meal and a life with fewer regrets. The 4 flavors of the kitchen, the 4 emotions of the heart, sorrowful partings and joyful reunions. They're not that much different. But just as fresh fins have their bones and molasses have no scent, this land is filled with regrets. Eat when you're hungry, sleep when you're tired, and when you miss your family, maybe it's as simple as going to them.
Are you really willing to let this go?
There are a lot of things I don't want to let go of, but I can't hold on to them forever either. Jian, mind looking after the shop for me while I'm gone? You've been watching me cook for so long. You must have picked something up by now. If any customers come by, look after them for me, will you? Savors at Use, the House of Aftertaste. It ended up being a fitting name. The mortal realm really lingers on the tongue.
Captain, my report. The patrol battalion has dispatched all their men, and sweep searches are underway in 8 districts. Still no sign of the target.
It's been an entire day. Before day breaks, we must... Heard you were looking for me? Who's there? Out of the way.
What's this? Here to surrender? Good, you've saved me the effort of searching the entire city for you.
I don't care if you want to take me in for what I did at the feast or who I am. Now's not the time for it. I've got urgent business, so best move it.
Huh.
I've never been this pissed off before. If you really want to get in my way, then come and try me.
What are you going to do?
I'm here to deliver a bowl of longevity noodles to the Chu Lung.
So there we have it, that was the rest of stage 8. And I will say, I do love, pretty much this stage pretty much reveals everything, pretty much explains everything between the relationships, about the Grand Preceptor, what happened 40 years ago exactly, and why stuff is the way it is. And also, just once again to clarify, I know, for me at least, it was completely clear what was said there, but just to clarify once more, Blaze is not the biological daughter of Gu Xuan. Gu Xuan found her. She is the biological daughter of the Grand Preceptor, who was marked as a treasonous person, and, you know, stuff happened to her afterwards. She pretty much got executed and forgotten by history itself. But at the same time, Gu Xuan found her, and he, together with his wife and his own daughter, wanted to escape Baizao to Victoria to save pretty much all of their lives, but as we saw at the beginning of the story, got intercepted by the Imperial Guard, and the Imperial Guard didn't steal, which is funny, by the way. They didn't steal the daughter of the Grand Preceptor, but they stole the daughter of Gu Xuan and his wife and delivered her to the Nings, which is is very interesting. Yeah, that is pretty much what happened there. So Gu Xuan and Jingzhu are not essentially blood-related sisters, but they were raised by the same parents, so, well, one is essentially from the same parents that Blaze was raised by, so technically speaking, yes, they are sisters, of course. A very weird pair of sisters, but yeah, that scene was very wholesome between the two of them. And honestly, so far, everything in this story has been very well built up and very nicely revealed, but I will say my favorite reveal, because I was already suspecting that the guy is probably something special, I just couldn't tell where or what specifically, has to be Jiang. Honestly, my favorite reveal of this story is Jiang just suddenly turning out to be a candle holder. That is, I don't know if it's because of his appearance or the way he was, or the way how he is like a bit of a relaxed character, so to speak, around everything, but the fact that you just casually addresses him as a candle holder is amazing. I do love that the two of them actually build up this little friendship relationship between each other. It's very good. It was a very good reveal. I really liked it. That will probably be in the clips at the end of this episode. But yeah, that marks the end of stage 8, and we move on to stage number 9. Our final battle stage. And the boss battle stage, of course. Simply titled Longevity Noodles. The quality of a bowl of longevity noodles is judged by its taste, but in who made it and what blessing it contains.
Victoria is so close. It's snowing again. They should be wearing their winter garb now. She was like a little stove as a child, aflame with passion in her veins. The snow and wind won't faze her. Baizao's winters are never this cold. She said the first volume should be done when spring comes. That's good. At life's end, I find no worries left to bear. The man takes off his Mandarin garb, folds it carefully, and places it down next to the books he used to carry, before bowing 3 times to the east. He walks out of the camp. Your flames are indeed hotter now. Your arts are greatly burning your body, infected.
Scared of the heat? Huh, it's just my blood, though I know I'm standing here only because so many others have shed their own blood.
Seems like you already know a lot.
Not much at all, there's just one thing I need to know. Those who had their names erased, those who died dubious deaths. They need an explanation, an answer. To be honest, I didn't think my life would have such a complicated backstory, or that I'd fight for something other than the infected. But now I realize that injustice is the same for everyone, and I will spill my blood to end every injustice I encounter.
Burning ablaze with your blood. Infected, you resemble the righteous of old. But don't rush to conclusions about justice when a single leaf blocks your view of the entire forest. In any case, I have been ordered to bring you back, and you absolutely cannot be let free.
I know. I've met your type before, plenty of times. I guess I can't paint you all as bad guys. You've just been trained to shed no blood or tears, so you stop caring about anyone else's. Whatever, I won't argue. You sure can try and stop me, though.
You are the enemy, but your courage deserves praise. Careful now.
I will spare your life, but I can't guarantee you won't lose a limb or two. Zhengwan Bailey Zingfa! Cleave! It's you! And I have a lot of questions, but there's only one pressing matter at hand. You wanted to see the true Lung? Yes. I'm here to help.
Ling Qingyan, you should be behind bars.
Yet I stand here before you now.
You've already lost to me once. This time, neither of you will escape.
Don't worry, I have no plans to fight you alone.
I know I asked to tag along, but this opponent will be hard to handle. An accomplice, even. So you were the one who freed her from prison? I had to employ some crude measures, but I tried my best to avoid harming any innocents. Don't worry about settling the score. I have too many crimes I can't escape from, and this is just one more. When this matter is over, I will surrender myself to the law. But now there is something to be done and a meeting to be had. A discipline and supervision censor colluding with a judicial review office deputy minister in revolt. Such a preposterous scene is a first for me. If this is preposterous enough, then allow me to inconsequentially join the fray as well. I trust you've been well, Drill Master. Taihei? Were you not gravely wounded at human? Yes, my injuries were quite serious. I'm unsure if my skills are even 1/3 as powerful as they used to be. Which is why I hope there will be no cause for me to make any moves today. Why would even you participate in this? I have yet to grasp the full picture as to why Deputy Minister Lin has suddenly appeared here. But the two of you are my most respected colleagues, so I can only ask as an old friend that you two leave some space for negotiation. How can you expect me to turn a blind eye when you lot insist on doing such a traitorous act? Loyalty over righteousness. But whoever said you could only choose one from the two? Righteousness. You're familiar with the case and the two individuals involved, and it stand here before you now. Right or wrong, life or death, the choice is yours. But, Shifu, this matter came to be from complicated causes. How can what is good or evil be determined so easily? The blade is in your hand. Make your choice. Shifu! You hesitate still? Shifu, if righteousness can only be upheld with the edge of my blade, then what sets it apart from violence? I don't understand. Stop delaying and go inside. Don't even think about... A signal to lower the Forbidden City's defenses? Could it be His Imperial Majesty? You can see the Forbidden City from here. It was still spring when I last set foot in this tower. Much has happened within the last 6 months. The chill has come, and the wind atop the city wall is strong. Do take care of yourself, Grand Tutor. I imagine only a few from the court have seen Baizao from this angle. Even from great heights, where the view stretches far, one sight will sometimes be obscured by clouds. All the more reason that one should see and think before one acts. Do you know why I asked you to become advisor of human? My thoughts were that you wanted me to broaden my horizons and see the big picture. An opportunity, but also a test. A test for what exactly? To see if I am worthy. So you know why I have summoned you here today? Yes, Grand Tutor. You are disappointed in me. An excuse or a genuine emotion? I understand what I did during the Feast of 100 Delicacies was a terrible idea, but there was no other way. Suspending the feast will prevent the Grand Commandments from acting in drastic haste, and also allow the True Lung an opportunity.
Since your involvement in this slew of disputes, thrice have you been forced to make a choice, and each time you cast the riskiest die. You placed your friends and even yourself onto the chessboard. Have you never once felt hesitation?
I dare not claim it never crossed my mind, but I have always considered the choice most beneficial for all.
A capable plotter, but the same cannot be said for your decision-making. My plan was to select a young talent, ambitious but not greedy, resourceful but selfless, and give them many chances to hone themselves. If the chance arose, I would entrust them with significant responsibilities. I thought you were a suitable candidate, but it often does not end well when a chess player uses himself as a piece on the board. You remind me of a colleague who is no longer with us. I'm humbled. Liang Shun, given another chance, would you willingly leave Shangshu?
When I started my studies, I was determined to apply my life's learning to the benefit of the people, regardless of whatever position I had gotten from mere chance. My original ambition remains, and I hold no regrets over the choices I made.
The incident at the Feast of 100 Delicacies cannot go unpunished.
I'm submitting myself to the law.
The Sky Mirror Pavilion's archive is lacking a transcriber. You will begin your duties there tomorrow morning.
You have my gratitude, Grand Tutor. What is this?
The time has come.
The clouds concentrate, completely obscuring the moonlight. Have you met this one before?
Never.
Who exactly is the opponent he seeks on this Wei Qi board?
There are times when one seeks not an opponent to win against on the board, but a solution.
A solution beneficial to both parties amid countless changes to the situation. There is something I wish to consult you on. What made you set up that exam in the first place? Flashback.
Shop's not closed yet, is it?
You've come at the right time. I'll close right after I'm done with your order. It's late, so we don't have much left. But what would you like?
Anything to fill up my stomach on the road will do.
We happen to have half a steamer of meat buns here from the morning. You can have it for free.
Won't you be making a loss like this?
I only know how to cook, not so good at business stuff.
Why not earn a name and riches with skills like yours?
What for? Both nobles and peasants eat the same 3 meals a day. I might as well make more buns than money or fame.
If you don't mind, another question. How much does a meal normally cost here?
Not much at all. The usual soup and 2 dishes just cost a few coins. Anyone who works here in Baizao can eat their fill here.
I see you have a kind heart and compassion for others.
Aw, stop that. I'm just a chef who serves about 100 customers a day at most. I can only count on you to feed and clothe everyone else in this realm.
A free meal and a lesson to boot. Lucky me.
I just hope you don't get mad at me. I just like aimlessly chatting with customers about everything under the sun.
Your restaurant has been here a long time,
if I'm not wrong. How are your finances?
Now that's a headache. You see, this little store of mine can barely make even. It's all thanks to the abundant crops from Dahuang and the fast deliveries from the Qidao that I can keep my store running. Otherwise, I'd have to raise the prices.
Are you sure you're not trying to give credit to your siblings?
But it doesn't stop here. My customers all live nearby. Some don't have enough coins, so they make up for it by sending me a few boxes of fresh fruit, or helping me repair the furniture. Without their care, this restaurant wouldn't be running today. So you see, it's hard to balance a book like this. But this is how you do business, right? Who says one side has to profit all the time? You give and you take. It's mutual prosperity that brings wealth and keeps the business thriving. Your meat buns are ready and all packed, Grand Tutor. But why don't you try one now?
Not bad at all. A word of advice. Don't take any more lessons from your businessman brother. Were you able to get a meal, sir?
Yes, I heard the buns from this place are the best in Baizao. Try one yourself.
Oh, oh, it's delicious. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready to get back on the road. Where to?
Shangshu.
Back to present.
How do I get there again? The 7 streets and 5 lanes in the east of the city. I remember having to pass the dye workshop and a kiln first. My head hurts. It's been so many years. I wonder what changes... Oh? This calligraphy and painting store is still here? Surely their store sign can nearly be considered a historical relic. I could come back again for a stroll. Who knows? I might just find it. On second thought, I probably couldn't if I tried. Almost there. This ancient temple hasn't changed at all. No one's been here in years, but it hasn't been torn down either. Just who is feeling nostalgic for it? The lock's already opened? Oh, you're back.
Which one to choose? こちらだ。
遠くに火を望んだところで暑さはわからないさ。
複雑な環境ですので、はぐれないように自己判断で行動は控えてください。動くな。立体の安全が確認されるまで、僕はここで調査を続けます。
戦場って。
止まってください。あいにくとこの道は通行止めです。よしなんだ。
生命は晴れるべし。国威は
心得もよしなんだ。
戦場に積もる恨みは
複雑な地形で複数に足りないし、9年の世を打ち破ることはできます。よしなんだ。止まってください。あいにくとこの道は通行止めです。
空気が肺を焦がしてる。適温だよ。あんまりいい心地じゃないでしょ。
作物たち。
心地より草に荒れ地は送電となる。
止まってください。あいにくとこの道は通行止めです。
炎に追いつかれたくなかったらもっと早く走らなきゃ。
動くな。これより逮捕する。お前には黙秘権がある。一帯の安全が確認されるまで僕はここで調査を続けます。
戦場に積もる恨みはいつか散らん。
止まってください。あいにくとこの道は通行止めです。
より草に本荒れ地は
数に足りない諸君9年の世を打ち破ることはできます。人には理解できない。
この火の玉を味わってみたいなら前に出てきちゃって。黒木でコトコト焦りは禁物だ。
観念しろ。もう逃げられない。
雷語を聞きなさい。
凶悪を直除すれば官庁倫理体。
さっさと片付けるぞ。
Why should anyone be born destined to bear all this? I remember when father was alive. He often stood atop the palace tower, my brother beside him. Father often said this: water can carry a boat, but also sink it. Likewise, this great height where we stand can also be the start of a plunge into the abyss. He used to watch the city before him for long periods of time, or perhaps it was the vast territory in the distance. He watched both what he could and could not see. Before my eyes, the city flourished, while his body gradually bent into an arc, and his hair turned white as snow. And I knew he was old. Then I began hearing all sorts of voices. The true Lung is an authoritarian dictator who has imposed many harsh policies. Great Yan will be in trouble if this continues for long. Your Highness, please put the country first and admonish the true Lung, abolish his harmful policies, and bring a new start to this realm. The people are uneasy. I should do something. But what should I do? Who can I trust? I thought of someone. A person who is rumored to have fathomed every plan possible. That ancient temple had long been deserted, but I tried everything I could and located a black stone. What do you want? A solution for Yan and my elder brother. And why should I help you? Help me now, and in time I will spare your life. How amusing. You are bold, young Lung. A solution is not difficult, but it comes with a price. Are you willing to pay that price? With the Grand Preceptor's help, Brother ended up entering the Forbidden City with Shi Shao in hand. The 6 armies conceded. No one dared stop him. No one knows what exactly happened inside the Forbidden City then. Father died. Brother vanished. Why? Am I to be alone now? What is the meaning of this bowl of noodles?
I made some longevity noodles just for you. Aren't you going to try it?
Why?
Because today is your birthday, right? A little squirt told me the true Lung's birthday is a day after the Mid-Autumn Festival, but he celebrates his birthday together with the festival out of humility. I know a little something about hiding your birthday myself. I just thought it was so sad for a man of such high status to not get to decide when to celebrate his own birthday.
You. I know you. Making your way here despite the odds, the risks, and even the possibility of losing your life. You must have something to say to me.
Of course. To think that my life is so closely connected to someone I haven't even met before, that feeling is just so surreal. So I had to come and meet you. I was planning to offer this to you yesterday during the feast, but a whole bunch of things messed up my plan. That was a good time as any, though. I know it's Yanni's custom to discuss important matters over a meal. So again, when you're done, I have a load of questions to ask. And I want answers. There's so much dust on the table, I almost ate some by accident.
You?
It's me. What's with the attitude? Not happy to see me?
I didn't think you would be the last one to get in my way.
Get in your way? What for? I've got better things to do. I just want my worrisome brother who hasn't been home in a long time to have a proper meal. After a century, the first thing you do is return to this run-down temple. Do you feel like you haven't been locked up enough here? Or do you actually like it here?
I started this round of Wei Qi here, and likewise, I will end it in this temple.
Alright, but first, clear up the table. There's no space for a bowl.
Why?
To eat, of course. What else?
You know what I'm planning to do.
Whatever it is, you shouldn't do it on an empty stomach.
It should have been a quiet night. The faint rustling of armor echoes from afar, evoking the image of cold blades glinting silver under the moon. The crisp cries of startled foul beasts only deepen the temple's solitude. Those outside remain still, awaiting orders and waiting for the one inside to come up with an answer.
What a show you've put on, with so many people for just one meal. Moons on the 15th are fullest on the 16th, as they say. So we can still have a reunion dinner today, even if we missed our chance yesterday. There's no need to rush, so why not finish this meal before you go, Wang, my second eldest brother? Is your Imperial Majesty surprised to see a woman who shouldn't exist?
No. I looked for you for a long time. I just didn't think you'd be taken so far away, hidden so deep.
I only found out yesterday that I'm still alive because of a heavy price that someone paid for me. I'm afraid this story will be hard to imagine for your Imperial Majesty. But you know, I made it in here without much trouble. Must have been your doing. So, you probably have something to tell me too, right?
Your very appearance here is itself the answer I seek. I know you have many questions. Ask them. Whatever your questions, I shall permit them.
That's so? I thought my mere presence would have angered you. To be honest, you're quite different from what I expected. I thought the True Lung would be more like the rumor said, imposing, indifferent, impersonal.
How rude. You know well to whom you speak at this very moment.
To be honest, not really. I mean, 2 weeks ago you were still just someone from the stories. When I was little, my dad told me lots of Viennese stories, historical classics, myths and legends, but no matter what, he always spoke of a wise and strong emperor. An emperor who toiled for his people. He had to make major decisions for the whole nation. Every decree issued was in the name of absolute justice. Great Yan thrived under his governments. Sometimes I'd ask him, why not go back if you like it so much? I was curious what this Yan he always talked about was actually like. After all that curiosity, I got to tour Baizao these past few days. I saw a flourishing nomadic city, where most work and live in peace and contentment. So I figured his stories were true, and you're probably a good ruler.
Your father...
You probably don't remember him. He was just a nameless nobody to you. My guess is even the dish that offended you a decade ago isn't worth remembering. He wasn't actually my real father even, just acted out of his so-called morals and saved a baby he thought was innocent. So I think he was probably a good man too.
Gu Xuan. I remember. I remember it all.
Actually, my dad talked about another Yanese too. Someone who was a teacher to many. He said that she devoted herself to the country to better everyone's lives, giving many scholars from humble backgrounds like him a chance to study. After I arrived in Baizao, I heard a lot of stories and found out she wasn't someone from a fairy tale. Yan did indeed have someone like her. I found out she was actually my relative. Your Imperial Majesty, could you tell me her story?
She was one of the 3 great ministers, admired by all, stern and unyielding, a timeless role model, the Grand Preceptor. She was the wisest and most learned erudite in Yan. Most imperial decrees issued in court at the time were based on her judgments. She was a teacher to many, including me.
A teacher to many? My dad said that although he was only her student for a few days, he was fortunate to have benefited from her wise words and remains forever in her debt to them. It's an ancient Yanese saying. I can't recall it exactly, but it basically means everyone has their own standards of right or wrong, and there's no universal definition. Despite this, people should still follow what's right in their hearts.
In worldly turmoil we tread, in our own conscience we trust. I remember it. She said it to me as well.
Which brings me to my next question. As your teacher, what did she teach you?
How to conduct myself as a person, as a minister, as a ruler.
Sounds complicated. What are the differences between the 3?
As a person, to exercise decency and virtue, and keep the house in order. As a minister, demonstrate utmost loyalty and concern to the nation and people. As a ruler, always put the people before yourself and strive to govern wisely. Make decisions for the sake of the realm. My words weigh heavy and can never be rescinded.
Can I understand that as you have all the power in your position, but you lose the right to admit any mistakes? Chulung of Yan, I want to ask you this. How did such a good person turn into a scheming traitor in everyone's eyes? Do you think she was falsely accused?
No. No. This is wrong. Was she falsely accused? It was not the answer, but a solution. Sacrifice the life of one, so that the entire nation can be stabilized and its people pacified.
Chulung, how do the noodles taste?
Why?
I hear it's hard to get even good food down when you're feeling bad over something. Do you have regrets?
I heard you were here. Grand Tutor, I have an urgent matter to report.
Zola.
I just consolidated the survey data from the pharmacologist who has just returned from the outside of Yan. In the northeast, north and west of Yan, a total of 5 Faramoots have shown signs of awakening.
Currently, this behavior cannot be explained by pure coincidence. Although it is currently unknown how this relates to the convict's plot, if we start a war against the People Sows now, I fear the situation may spiral out of control. You don't seem surprised at all. Was this within your calculations as well?
He has been scheming for a century. This is but one of his plots. After all that he has done, it cannot be mere mutual destruction he seeks.
But he's in Baizao right now, only one step away from the Tomb of Sui. If he adamantly presses on...
If he does, then Yan will not hesitate either.
Was the capital like this also 120 years ago? The convict had sneaked into the Tomb of Sui in a futile attempt to eliminate it by himself. This resulted in the death of a proxy, and the bestial Sui began to stir. I looked through the Sui regulator archives, but I never managed to figure out how he entered the mausoleum in the first place. Just who helped him enter the Tomb of Sui? Why haven't you touched your chopsticks? Don't feel like eating?
A worthless move. A waste of time.
I know you're in a hurry, but I'm sure you can squeeze a meal in at least. Sheesh. I didn't even complain about the time it took to make all these. Do you know how long I spent preparing this pot of soup?
Tell me.
If we start counting from the moment you left, about a century? Even longer if I include the time I spent sourcing ingredients and figuring out what to cook.
Have you found the flavor you were searching for after all this time spent in preparation?
No, I haven't. How could it be that easy? But I came to understand something. There is no perfect dish in this realm. No matter how long I let this pot of soup stew, there's no way I could include every single flavor there is in it. It's just one dish. Even a banquet spread of myriad delicacies will leave some unsatisfied. But so what? People will always think about what to eat for the next meal. Saving what they didn't get for next time is what gives life hope, what keeps life going. I remember a phrase Jie, my third eldest sister, taught me. What is truly complete becomes incomplete. That should be the shorter version of what I just said, right? Water fills then spills, moons wax then wane. Wang, do you still remember what Jia meant when she gave you your true name in one lone word?
You came here to convince me.
With all I've said, am I not also convincing myself? When I walked out of that tomb, I couldn't tell the difference between how a human should live compared to a beast. I watched the people around me, both nobles and peasants alike. No matter the time or age, the people in this realm are mostly unhappy, miserable. Yes, this land is flooded with suffering. Mortality is inevitable, meetings are fickle, requests go unfulfilled, and love will leave one day. What happiness and joy there is seems so minuscule in comparison. Humans seek happiness and satisfaction, but they are no gods from the legends with their remarkable powers. Most times they find themselves helpless, powerless. My curiosity continued. What's the point of living when there's so much hardship everywhere? Only after a long time did I come to discover there is no happiness without sadness. How can one feel the joy of birth without knowing the grief of death? How can one rejoice over a meeting without experiencing the reluctance of separation? I finally realized every taste in this realm begins from the flavor known as regret.
The man silently picks up the pair of chopsticks and slowly uses them to put food into his mouth. Warmth spreads from the tip of his tongue to the rest of his body, and he cannot help but feel a little moved.
Wang, do you still remember? You had just returned from the northern border with your troops. I heard you just were back fresh from a fierce battle. I just opened my restaurant in Baizao then. Jie was also in town for some errands, so the three of us enjoyed a rare dinner together. I still remember, Jie made an exception and drank several cups of wine. She imitated our eldest sister's drunken posture, writing poems on the wall. I never saw you so happy before. It wasn't until midnight that the dinner ended. I was so tired I fell asleep at the table. The next day I woke in bed, the two of you nowhere to be seen. I was happy. It was the first time you had a meal with us, but I didn't think it would also be the last. After that, we never met up again. Neither you nor Jie.
What exactly do you mean to say?
At first, I didn't understand why humans insisted on having meals together. Afterward, I slowly realized a will to eat well also means a will to live well. People who eat together can help each other and live on together. It's hard, but I've always been hoping to eat together as a family again. I've imagined many times of how my big brothers and sisters would come back to Baizao one day. Maybe Nian and Dusk would squabble on one side of the table. Shu would bring back some fresh greens, while Yi would show off some mysterious treasure he'd gotten from who knows where. Maybe you're sitting together with our eldest brother and sister, talking about the view from a frontier fortress I've never seen, and the strange stories that happened over there. I know our eldest brother is busy with official duties, and our eldest sister seems so freewheeling, but they're always thinking about their younger siblings. Same as you. I remember all your favorite flavors. I racked my brain thinking about what the dishes to make for a feast. Even if I knew deep down the day might just never come. But I still keep on hoping, because this is what keeps me from feeling hollow inside. It's what keeps my life going.
You know well, it's an impossibility. Harboring these unrealistic ideals will only increase your burden.
I know, but deep inside I just can't stop thinking about it. It's just human nature to do that. To be honest, I miss Gia pretty deeply too. When she vanished, I spent every day thinking about her. I would think about her when I woke up, when I prepared meals. I'd remember how she taught me to read and write, and how she'd taste my cooking, and every time I would cry. That was when I learned how eternal separation tastes to humans. Of course, I know you feel the same. So, the regret and pain inside you, I can sympathize too.
Sympathize? How exactly do you plan on sympathizing with what I've gone through?
You forget. We are all I. I know you hate how the Sui regular watched Gia die. You hate our eldest brother because he stopped you from taking revenge. You even hated Gia, resented her for paying the price on your behalf. But the one you hate most is yourself. I know you, Wang. You're off to do something you have to do, and there's no way I can convince you to give it up. I just want to say, you don't need to go in there ready to die. I can't bear to lose any of you. Yi gave you a brocade. Shu gave you seeds. The one thing I can give you is this bowl of soup.
What is this?
It's a power I've never used before. I combine it with everything I've seen and experienced over 100 years outside the tomb to make this bowl of soup. Just take it as a helping from you to you. Bang, my brother, I really want you to come back safe.
The haggard-looking man is silent for a long time. He raises his hand as if wanting to wipe the tears off the young man's face, but ultimately his arm drops back down feebly.
I didn't want you to get involved in this. You especially. You've forgotten who you are, forgotten the difference between man and beast, and even forgotten the answer you sought. Which is fine. You could have just lived on, as you were. So why did you remember and come here?
It's fine if I forgot who I am, but I can never forget the flavors deep inside. The feelings for the people I care about.
You have all dwelt in the mortal realm for too long, and resemble humans too much. But in the end, it is a mere resemble. I will help all of you. I will help all of you smash these feathers open. I will help all of you find a place on this land. I will help all of you become human.
Brother?
The man puts down his chopsticks and bowl. He stands up and walks outside. It was only later that I realized what the price he spoke of truly meant. It was a consequence I had never imagined before, even though my elder brother, with the Grand Preceptor, had long foreseen this outcome. Or perhaps it was a way out. Ridding a guilty Grand Preceptor and leaving a legitimate and innocent prince to succeed to the throne was the best result Yan could have. And also the choice they expected me to make. Which I did. But what for? Is this the only way? Through a path paved with lies? Is this fear? Am I afraid of making a misstep and stirring unrest in the state? Afraid that history will inscribe my name with infamy for eternity? Is this resentment? Do I resent her for causing me to lose all that I had? Resent him for not staying behind to face all of this together? Or do I resent myself for not doing more? Why am I feeling like this? How long have I not tasted such flavors? Is this a regret? You know well it was a critical time. The true Lung had just died from an unknown cause, the court was in panic, and powerful foes were waiting just outside. If the situation hadn't been stabilized in time, the bloodshed would have been more than 1,000-fold greater. No, you don't understand. How could you?
It's true, I don't. All these considerations you've mentioned are leagues away from me. I couldn't even begin to imagine what it feels like being responsible for the fate of so many people. The most noble sacrifice I've seen was just a few idiots who shed all their blood on the battlefield for their ideals. But Your Imperial Majesty, you definitely know it's a lie, convincing the masses with this explanation. A lie that happened just because the people will not allow the true Lung to make a mistake. The Yan under your rule has so much land, so vast it can accommodate 100 nomadic cities, millions of people. So why couldn't it hold one more kind-hearted person? Don't you feel any remorse for her?
What choice should I make? What choices did I even have? How do I explain these principles to the one before me? No, why should I even tell her? Why did I meet her? What did I want to hear from her?
Well, I get it. It's not a choice you'd make alone when considering the so-called big picture. Truth is not always power. When public opinion can triumph, everyone sees and believes in different things. The so-called truth only holds true to whoever claims it first. My dad spent his whole life trying to find out the truth, but he chose to accept this. It's not because he forgave you, he just agreed with the result you and that Grand Preceptor wanted to achieve together.
The occupant of the Dragon Throne puts down his chopsticks, and a light, faint sigh echoes throughout the Great Hall. How do you want me to compensate for this?
Compensate? No, that's impossible. I know, to you and Yan, the reputation of one or the fates of a few are not even worth mentioning. But for those unfortunate souls swept away by your grand plan, their suffering can't be undone.
Then how do you want...
Yeah, well, I was thinking about it before I came here. What kind of outcome do I even want? An apology from you? To clear their names? But is that enough comfort to those who are gone? Does it mean anything to those left behind? I haven't considered the worst outcome of our meeting.
A ball of flame ignites and extinguishes within Blaze's palm, illuminating the palace for just a moment.
I just want you to promise me one thing. Don't forget them.
I said before, there is no need to wait on me here. Your Imperial Majesty's safety is paramount, so I beg your pardon for defiance against your rule. The traitor's descendant wantonly barged into the Forbidden City. It was a merciful act to grant her an audience. Shall we charge her on grounds of deceiving your Majesty? No. News from the Sui regulator. The convict has returned to the ancient temple. Both the Anshis and Imperial Guardsmen are already in position. Yumen is also ready for battle. Shall we give the order to slay him at once? Pass on my decree.
Lazy! You... Huh. Good to see you alive. What happened to you? Your face is all black and blue. Got your ass whooped. Puh! You want to talk? I can feel your hand trembling. Are you scared? Yeah, I'm scared. That's the Chulung after all. The king, the boss of a whole country. Just one word from him and many heads will roll. I'm not scared of dying. I've been on the battlefield after all. I've been in shit more dire than this. I'm just scared that my meeting with the Chulung would be fruitless, wasting the opportunity everyone fought so hard for. You idiot! Then tell me quick, what did you talk about with the Chulung? I asked him for an explanation for my dad, my younger sister, the relative I've never met. Huh. I couldn't see his face clearly, but I'm sure he felt... What's wrong? It's snowing?
The two are in such a hurry, they only notice now the surrounding air has gradually gotten colder. The energy poles scattered throughout the city gradually powered down. It is mid-autumn, but the temperature plummets as if it's winter. In contrast to the dimming city lights, the twin moons shine ever brighter. Snow starts to fall. Time's almost up. We should go, Deputy Minister Yu.
Put it on me.
But, Deputy Minister Yu, we are all aware of the man you are, so why not?
All criminals should walk with a gang in chains. Even suspects should be clapped in irons. And this is how you conduct yourself as a warden. Put it on me.
As you say, forgive my dereliction of duty.
Go slow. Let us savor this moonlight.
A snowflake floats through a window, landing on the prisoner's face.
Huh?
What the? Weather like this in the middle of autumn, and we even have snowflakes?
Gushuan, I've done what I promised you, brother.
Ningyin is back in the study. She takes out pen and paper along with an incomplete history book manuscript. The story of the past, the hidden names, she knows them now and should be able to finish the final chapter. Yet, she hesitates, her pen still. A gust of wind flings the window open and shuts the book. A single snowflake lands on her draft, making the first stroke.
What? It's snowing? Blaze.
Is your shopkeeper still not here?
He's really not here this time.
It's fine. I guess I'm bound to never meet him. I vow to show everyone a feast of 100 delicacies never before seen, but it turned out to be a joke in the end. I'm a joke myself as well. I'm ready to let go. Bi Feng Lu are my culinary skills.
Chef Mo? He told me to give you this when you showed up looking for him.
He knew I would come.
Jian brings out an empty bowl, where a wooden plate lies within. Carved on it, in firm, strong strokes, are 4 Yanese characters. Tian Xie Di Yi, first under heaven. I was told this title weighs heavy, but it cannot feed the hungry. He also said that while culinary skills can be compared, hunger treats kings and paupers alike. And that it didn't matter if there would be future top chefs or just common cooks among those people on that snowy night. He would have made that pot of noodles for them anyway. The old man is struck dumb, and then immediately bursts into hearty laughter. Snow buffets his face. He has not felt as awake or elated for a long time.
Heed the True Lung's decree.
Mobilize 7/10 of the city's energy to open the Tomb of Sui.
Yes.
The Farron Moods are also the citizens of Yan, no different than humans. And if my citizen has an injustice to appeal, I will grant him permission. Should he succeed, he would render Yan a meritorious service by ridding this 1,000-year concern once and for all. If he fails and the bestial Sui awakens, then he shall have the full might of Yan behind him. Together, we shall slay the beast until the threat is no more.
Your Imperial Majesty, do you intend to pardon the convict?
Yes. There are many more I should pardon. I pardon the convict Faramud Wang for the crimes of manipulating the court and deceiving the emperor. I pardon the Grand Preceptor for the crimes of false counsel, self-deprecation, and treason. I pardon the deposed imperial heir Yan Wu for the crimes of dereliction of duty, abandoning his brother, and failing to uphold righteousness. As for myself, failing to discern right from wrong, bringing injustice upon the good, failing to prevent war, leading to the deaths of many. Crime so heinous, a pardon is impossible. Though unworthy of the throne I occupy, I must do what I can. I will entrust Yan's fate belongs solely to its people. I will settle my debts to this nation in full. And when that day comes, I will await judgment for my crimes. Yan Wu, it will be time for you to return. The night sky remains clear. Only a few thin clouds float above, the twin moons unobstructed. The wind delivers a chill at a perfect temperature. Passersby stop in their tracks to watch the inexplicable sight.
So much snow. What's going on here? Baizao's energy poles are reducing their power. It seems the energy is being redirected elsewhere. The city has not seen snow for many years. I see.
Blaze recalls when she entered the city. Her eyes were drawn to these innumerable energy poles that seemed to never dim. She remembers what Xiangshu had told her, Baizao's magnificent founding history. The city, this vast nation, history, and time, they have never stopped for anyone. Until now.
Ling Jingyan, doesn't snow that falls out of season carry special meaning in Yanni's stories? What are you trying to imply? The truth is now revealed with White. Heaven sent snow to finally right a long-standing injustice? The typical snow in summer story? Maybe. Or something else. Those who are gone, what they leave behind will eventually disappear, just like the snow here. I know. I hope the snow will last a while longer.
Fully armored soldiers line up both sides of the path, spanning across the entire city. The man drags himself through a long black corridor. With every step he takes, he feels that ancient, enormous existence responding to his visitation. An angry roar, a hoarse howl.
Oh, my head. This doesn't feel like the usual hangover from the Husong wine I had last night. Alas, I see. It awakens from its farcical dream and inevitability. Fine, let's go have a look after this cup. Let's see what scenes await at the end of this millennium-long dream.
The poet looks into the distance. Clouds screen the sun, the realm obscured.
Who was it? Professional work should be left to actual pros. Who the heck messed with my adjustments? Zip it. I've been here the entire time, and no one's come. I think after just 2 rounds of mahjong with the Nongye Tianchi next door. How did his heart get hypertension again? Do you still not get it? I'm afraid they've arrived. Arrived? Would those old fellows at Baizao let him go in that easily? Did you forget? A century ago he walked into the tomb the exact same way. Afterward, Jia vanished, and we still don't know what even happened. This time... Nask? You scared? Yes, I am. This is it. Only someone without a heart or brain wouldn't be afraid. I have no intention to just vanish. Oh, it's rare we agree on something. Then, what are we waiting for? Let's hurry before those old bones realize what we're up to. You want to... With how things are, there's no way we're just going to sit here and wait to die. This irregular is the least of our concerns right now. Let's go back home and hold our real family reunion. So it's you. I heard your voice. It's been a long time. Shh, I know you're in a bad mood. I can feel it too. I mean, I spent the longest time in the tomb after all. I probably know you better than the others. Strange. We're all I, so what's the point of going into this one side must perish situation? There is no explaining it, so I can only reluctantly accept it. Huh. You're strong, but I don't think Vang... I don't think we will lose to you. You've slept for 1,000 years after all, while we've spent that time living real lives. So how can we lose, right? I can't use the power I took from you, so take it back. Consider it a farewell from me. There's no avoiding this outcome, so we might as well treat it as a salvation. Sleep.
A stove fire is lit. It is a warm flame, harboring life and hope, enough to dispel the chill of the winter night and the anxiety in the people's hearts. The restless ancient behemoth far away returns to calm yet again. Moonlight fills the city, and every dreamer dreams a good dream. Seeking an answer, he feels lost. Clarity he finds in worldly flavors. His life is a feast, and eternity a flame. It's gotten quiet inside. I suppose our youngest brother's soup was timely. We ended up troubling him a little.
Was your visiting him earlier not part of your plan?
Truly, nothing gets past you. This is it. Shall we go in together?
No. Hand me the items.
With this blade and what we got from our dear sister and youngest brother, our strength still pales in comparison, but at least the odds don't seem insurmountable. What now? Brother?
This is well enough. You've done what I've asked of you, but I promised you, you already have. Our debt is settled. I will finish this myself.
What's that supposed to mean? Things are finally even. If you have it your way, won't I be in your debt again?
Leave ye. What happens next is between us. have been playing against me all along in order to determine a winner. We have long since ceased to be your vassals. Now we must fight for victory or death. Just like the battle a millennium ago, this too is inevitable. Your arrogance, your indifference, it all stops here. Are you angry? Afraid? Anticipating?
So yeah, what a stage, and what a long cutscene when you put both together. Woo! So yeah, final confirmation here, immediately at the beginning of the cutscene on stage 9, the first one, that Gushuan pretty much died of natural causes, even though he kind of made peace with everything, it seems, right there at the end, and just walked out into the blizzard, and that was that. Poor guy. But yeah, his health was also declining, so who knows, might have been the easier one. But yeah, the rest of the stage, holy hell, so many. That whole segment with you talking to Wang is it's just both heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time. Just seeing the little guy break down there in front of him, and just feeling how much he loves his siblings and everything. Just heartbreaking, man. Just such a heartbreaking whole sequence. And also, as a quick reminder for people who might have forgotten, or for people who have not been with the Shu story, but did hear about this brother who has been, I mean, even this story has regurgitated the information of the second eldest brother being you know, the one that everybody is suspicious of about what he's gonna do. The guy was honestly always after the big Sui. That was like a big reveal in the Shu, in the end of the Shu story, where again he appeared for the first time, I believe, properly, at least inside of a story, and that's where we also learn about the fact that he is literally on a warpath to kill this big thing. And he just wandered into the chambers of it, and it seems to be awake, but there's also a little bit there, and I'm gonna get to that later after we're done with the story, about the whole thing where it seems that you put the big Sui back to sleep in a manner, but there is more to that scene, so I'm not gonna elaborate too much upon it. But Vang definitely wandered into the chamber, and he is on his warpath. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, the U scene was definitely the highlight of this whole thing. Just the images of him thinking of his siblings and wanting them to get back, just get back, you know, for a reunion, have dinner all at the table, and just shoot the shit essentially. Such a cool little moment. And also the True Lung as well. There is a message here, and again, it's one of the things that I'm gonna elaborate a bit more when we get to the end of the story today, but there is a message here that carries with this story as well, that is pretty accurate. That is pretty accurate to a lot of real life stuff, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, the True Lung as well, seeing that as much as he was portrayed through a portion of the story as being very vengeful against his brother Wei and Wu, and a couple of other things, showcasing him here as having second thoughts, or rather, over time stuff has changed and he is kind of ready to forgive and forget, and realizes that he is actually at a lot of fault here. Perfect. Just perfect. But we have one more cutscene here, and before we get to that one, we have obviously our big bad to introduce here, our boss of this of this encounter, and that is gluttony. And it says here, abomination born from the heart of the Sui proxy, awakened from dream-devouring disappointment. There is taste in reunion as there is in remembrance. There is taste in joy as there is in sorrow. There is taste in pride as there is in regret. And the big boy is also accompanied by the mouth of creation, which says, spits out sapidity and vapidity, and the mouth of annihilation that devours sapidity and vapidity. But yeah, that is about that stage, and let us move on to our final one for today, titled Essence Herbal Soup. Opaque soup with a sip of clarity. Do not ask the way, seek it yourself. What night is it? A gloomy mausoleum sits in pitch-black silence. In the chaotic darkness, even time seems to come to a standstill. How long has it been since the last sign of activity in here? But on this day, a new voice echoes in the tomb. Where is this?
A tomb.
Who am I?
Unknown.
Who are you?
Also unknown. Though they did give me a name. Sui.
Have you been here for a long time? If you would, Mr. Yu.
Before you take me away, might I make a presumptuous request? If it's not too much trouble, could you go over to that small restaurant across the street and buy me a bowl of plain rice with a cup of tea? It's no good to be imprisoned on an empty stomach.
It's my job. Please wait a moment.
Are you going?
The sentence has been passed. I can't very well dally around the judicial review office.
I know, which is why I'm here today to send you off.
You don't seem to resent me.
Now that I know the whole truth, I find no reason to resent you. Although I could resent you for not telling me earlier.
If I did, I fear you might be clad in the same feathers as I have on me right now. I had to leave a few worthy successors for the judicial review office.
I've raised an objection to your conviction. In truth, if you feel this unjust, you can request a review at the 3 organs of justice.
Could you possibly think what I did is unworthy of a decade behind bars?
But all that you did was ultimately for...
What difference does it make? The law is the law, not a mere guide to what is moral. If I refuse to comply with the law today, how many more like me will there be in the future? And how much chaos will they create in the name of morality? It is unlike a disciple of mine to be spouting such words.
I have been careless in my words.
It's up to young people like you, and those who follow to steer the law closer to what many deem is right. I'll be waiting for that day, and since that pine tree on the mountain still stands, I'll also be waiting for you to cut it down and craft me a coffin from its wood. By the way, why have you come here today not dressed in the judicial review office's uniform?
I resigned. A thunderclap can illuminate a moment, but it cannot distinguish what is good or evil, true or false for everything. There are many things I cannot perceive clearly. The pine tree remains on the mountain, but it is merely a tree. What the mountain climber sees in the tree depends on their intentions. I will return to the Tianchi Bureau and practice my craft for a while.
Very well. Doing something you don't understand with muddled eyes will never bring you any achievements.
Sir, there is still one thing I do not understand. Why exactly did you insist on investigating the Grand Preceptor's case?
Why do you ask?
I organized the files surrounding this case only to find Gushuan was not the only one who sacrificed everything he had for this affair. Gushuan may have had his own motives, but you have no direct connection to the case, save for being under orders back then to bring this unresolved case at the Judicial Review Office to light.
Mr. Yu, the meal you wanted. The waiter at Savor said Yu's refused to take payment and even said they look forward to seeing you again. Strange, I didn't even mention the meal was for you.
I recall meeting Gushuan in a restaurant several decades ago, when he imparted this to me. Too many colors blind the eyes, too many flavors dull the tongue. I only understood his words later, probably owing to my short-sightedness and dull sense of taste. My eyes see only the unvarnished truth, and my tongue savors only the unaltered taste. The man clad in prison attire turns around and takes one last look at the plaque above the doors of the Judicial Review Office, and the courtroom behind the doors. He bends down, scoops a handful of unmelted snow under a cypress tree, and sprinkles it onto his rice bowl. He finishes his meal in a few mouthfuls. Tasty! Thus, I depart.
Why are you here?
Because of a mistake, an oversight.
I can feel it. You're in so much pain, so much anger. But after so long, your wound is healing, your rage subsiding. You sound exhausted?
Yes. My conscience, my soul, it has split into multiples. Just like you.
Where did they go?
Outside the tomb. They call it the mortal realm.
The mortal realm. Is it a beautiful place?
Not at all. There I have witnessed the most savage slaughters, the most malicious plots, the most merciless betrayals. Kin destroys kin. Love turns to hate. Arrogance caused my failure because I could not comprehend human emotions.
If the mortal realm is such a vicious and repulsive place, then why did they go there anyway?
Because...
Who goes there?
Quite the distance you've hiked. Where are you off to?
Why does it concern you?
I'll tell you why. You caused the ruckus in Yan, and you expect me to do nothing? You old things probably forgot the pain of a wound before it even healed. If we could beat you up and drive you out, then we can do it again now.
With just yourself? Laughable.
Oh, was it a challenge to fight? Let's go. I know you have a few worlds down in that belly of yours. Let's see who's stronger, you or that painter. Let's see how long your leftover worlds can stand against my flames.
You will pay for your impertinence.
Forget it. There's no use in killing you. You'd only mold another body to life just like before.
If this is your excuse for backing down, I accept.
I can't be bothered to argue with you, but before I locate your true form and off you for good, there's a question I want to ask. curious. What exactly did that Weiqi failure promise you to make you obey his orders so willingly? No, not just you. All of you.
His plots do not concern me. We only share some common goals. The one I seek is that disgraceful traitor imprisoned in a tomb.
If you only wanted revenge, you would have just killed its proxies one by one, then waited for it to die in war with Yan. So many years have passed. Your so-called kin on this land surely only numbers a few now. You're just feeling nostalgic. This human emotion is what makes you different than beasts.
Absurd.
No, that can't be the only reason why you've conspired with him. Don't think you can fool me. In all these years, Yan has always kept a few pairs of eyes on you. Are you not still thinking about that thing under Baizao? Uncle Lee, are we gonna find Dad here?
This was the only place I got after asking around. After so many years apart, it's the first time I was hoping news about him would turn out to be false. But I can't think of anyone else who'd fit the bill. Someone so obsessed with martial arts that they fought everyone worth fighting and even intentionally injured others on multiple occasions.
How did he end up like this?
No clue. His obsession is unmatched, although the stronger the obsession is, the harder it usually is for the mind to break.
What was that?
Waifu, we'll find him soon, but be careful. You might be the only one who can wake him from his madness.
Let's go, Uncle Lee.
Was the blade falling into his hands truly a sleight of fate? Liang Shun, oh Liang Shun. If something were to happen to Huai Tianpei, it'd be on your head. From a distance, a burly body can be vaguely seen in the depths of the cave. Heavy fists repeatedly pound the rock walls, leaving bloodstains that resemble plum blossoms. Every punch shakes the entire cave. Only now do the visitors realize this cave has been carved out by the punches.
40 years. The first under heaven. When did I... The blade. I can't give it away. Throw. I better throw it away. My daughter. I won't let you harm her.
Dad? Dad, wake up! Dad!
You can almost see Baizao from here. Visiting this post house has unexpectedly turned into a trip down memory lane. What? You lot insisted on following me, so why the silence now? All who died here are our brothers. All for loyalty. Doorway, someone's following us. Watch out! Impressive swordplay. In the many years since we last met, your swordplay has turned incomparable, Lady Shen.
Long time no see, Wei and Wu. Uncle?
Yushi.
I thought what you did in Lungmen was the stupidest decision you could make. You and these men, what are your plans now even?
You shouldn't be here. Could it be Fumizuki? She told you.
I made this decision myself, nothing to do with anyone else.
This affair, likewise, has nothing to do with you.
True. I've never asked about your past. I consider it your private business, and felt I had no right to pry. I've been to many places these past few years and seen many things I never saw or even thought of before. I think I've come to understand that despite all the contradictions in this land, righteousness still exists. What happened to my mother and my sister? You can't say they have nothing to do with your past. So I want to see for myself how you plan to unravel this past you've been entangled in your entire life. I seem to suddenly remember many things. Things I saw within an enormous body, through eyes that can see through the mist.
You are a part of this consciousness, so it is only natural you possess the same memories.
But the mortal realm I saw is different from what you described.
So, what did you see?
A fire. At the very beginning, people congregated to fend off voracious wild beasts and started a fire to light up the cold nights. They gathered around the flames, forged all sorts of tools, and cooked all kinds of dishes. Their faces bore many expressions I cannot comprehend. I really want to know what those feelings are.
Such a thought is very dangerous.
Dangerous?
Your kin, the proxies who are already roaming about the mortal realm, entered it with similar thoughts, but the only thing awaiting them was endless torture.
Did they all want to become human? Before I become one, first I want to know, what is humanity? Where should I go to look for my answer?
Just go. Take a walk in the mortal realm. A cacophony of emotions and desires will bring endless suffering. Give a thought form, and it will resemble the dawn of chaos. Fall into its feathers, and you will never break free. You're not afraid?
I am... Oh, just a dream. I guess it's not so strange to dream about it. Where's everyone? The young chef leaps off the couch, stretches himself and rubs his eyes hard. The kitchen before him remains the same, pots and pans all in place. He seems to suddenly think of something, and hurriedly opens a cupboard, taking out bottles of oil, salt, soy sauce, and vinegar. Carefully, he drips a drop from each bottle into his mouth one by one, his brows tightly knit, deep in thought. Only after a long time does a smile appear on his face. Thank goodness. Still tastes the same. Whether as man or beast, whether I remember or not, it doesn't seem to make much difference. The flavors of the land are endless, and I've discovered all the ones I've been seeking. As for what comes next, let's not think about that right now. Enjoy the flavors of today and leave tomorrow's worries for tomorrow. That's all there is to it. Let's get cooking.
The history of Yen. Is that of fire? First,
burned the unending flames of war. Then came the forge fires of the smiths. To this day, it has become a stove burner beneath our pots. The tale we tell today is of a young Shin by that stone. The beginning was chaos, and within that chaos was a Pharaoh whose body was split into 12 Shins. The first 11 each displayed unparalleled ability in one scale and took the form of human. Only the youngest Shin chose to stay behind. What did he stay to do? Ponder. Ponder what? What it truly means to be human. But if you never stepped into the mortal realm, you'd been pondering that forever. The youngest Shin pondered for a time before finally setting foot onto the lands of human. And what a bitter land it was, one beset by infinite crisis and inescapable mortality. But it was also beautiful, for there's always a spark ready to kindle a new age, an eternal flame. The human realm is flush with heavenly delights and black mortal agonies. The youngest Shin looked all around, but found himself lost. Things change over centuries like clouds fleeting overhead. All that remains is an inexplicable flavor lingering in the heart. And so the youngest Shin stayed amongst us mortals, hiding on ordinary streets. It took the sorrowful partings and joyful reunions and made them into the 4 basic tastes. These mortal passions become flavor upon your tongue. Huh? You're asking what I've got to do with all this? I'm glad you asked. Our restaurant sports that youngest Shin's recipes, and all at a reasonable price. Hey!
Stop gassing people up and get back to work.
I'm just doing some advertising. We won't make next month's rent at this rate.
If customers report us for upcharging, trouble will come knocking tomorrow.
And no need for violence here.
So then, this cutscene sets up so many things. But also it shows us a little glimpse into what seems to be a memory of you and the Sui when he was still in the chamber before you left, it seems. Because again, you wakes up at the end of this cutscene from this memory, it seems. But yeah, that was an interesting glimpse. And again, the whole purpose of this story is just to deliver the message of even the gravest of wounds will heal over time, or at least they will be less painful over time, right? That seems to be the driving message of this whole story, because we got a glimpse into the Sui in there, and as stated by... Oh, by the way, just to point out, it was very hard to figure out a lot of times who he's speaking. I had to go through the text lines of the characters in the dialogue between the Sui and you quite a lot of times, back and forth, to figure out, okay, is this what he's saying? Is this what this thing is saying? Who is speaking right now? This is one of those times where I would have loved it if they would have done what they did with Gu Xuan and Yu Cheng earlier in the story, where Gu Xuan was in the top left speaking and Yu Cheng was in the bottom right, or what they did as well with the junior drill master when it was the black scene with her text being in the bottom right and the text of whoever that was in the top left. So you can distinguish when who is speaking. I wish they would have done it here for the Yu and Sui scene, but I had to guess. If I got something wrong, apologies, but it is what it is. I had to pretty much guess who is speaking there. But yeah, very interesting scene between the two of them. Again, like the message of this story showcasing what is the current situation with the Sui. Also leaves it very hanging again. We do not get a confirmation of what happened to Wang Wang heading into the chamber of the Sui, if he finished it off, if he if it's just a stalemate, or if nothing happened. I guess we're gonna have to wait another year until we see what happened. Until the next Sui story comes along. But there will definitely be a conclusion at some point. We are getting there. Most of the siblings have been introduced, and only a couple are left. I have a couple of more things to say, but I'm gonna leave that for later. A couple of other things, however, from this cutscene. Number one, Shen is back, of course, and she, for the first time after like 5 years at this point, has met, again, just as a reminder, this is in the year 1102, and the last time Shen saw, her foster parent Wei and Wu is literally, I think, at the beginning of the year 1097, when chapter 8 finished. I think that was the last time the two of them met up properly. Like, they were close to each other in the Vernal Wind story in Human, but they never met up there. However, here we get a meeting, and it seems that she's gonna be accompanying him for whatever comes next. Then Li and Waifu are back, and they're on the hot pursuit of Waifu's father, who seems to be under the influence of the negative energy inside of the blade that he was taking with him. So, oh god, where is this gonna lead to? I hope the big guy doesn't actually die or something. I don't want to see that. I kind of just want these two to actually, you know, be a family again. And yeah, that is where it leaves us on right now. Also, I hope you guys enjoyed the dragon voice. I hope you guys enjoyed the dragon voice. That one was very fun to figure out a proper one to do. Anyway, let us round up the stages and the extra stories here, beginning with the EX stages and their descriptions at least. Beginning with the first EX stage titled Sourness. A pot of vinegar being aged in preparation for a reunion dinner. Its flavor continues to improve with time, but the opportunity to crack it open does not come. The second one is Sweetness, a anise pastry with sugar crystals upon the pastry puff. She looked forward to listening to her mother read those letters while biting into one of these. The third one is titled Bitterness. Pour tea over plain rice, and that is his meal for the day. He eats with his head down, never daring to take another look at his daughter's study. Number 4 is Spiciness. The hot pot restaurant is always busy in winter. The spicy soup stings the eyes and nose before one has even taken the first bite. Cold winds may blow outside, but the patrons are sweating all over. Number 5 is Saltiness. Things may change in the city, but the one constant is the sight of them toiling day in, day out. It is always nice to have some salted meat and vegetables after sweating all day. Number 6 is Savoriness. The prudest moment for a cook's child is when they take out their lunchbox in class, sharing the delicacies within with their curious classmates, and going hungry because they failed to leave any for themselves. Number 7 is Acerbity. The persimmons in the garden may look tempting, but they are sour and bitter. Let sweet fantasies remain fantasies and keep your distance. And the final one is 100 Flavors. From fire, 100 flavors. Within a stove, a universe of mysteries. And yeah, that is our EX stage descriptions and the little blurbs of stories. Also very interesting formation here. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a Chinese symbol or something, but it kind of also resembles a pot in a sense. So this is kind of very appropriate. Moving on to the S stages, and I will quickly also say I haven't done the ORMO 1 stage here yet, so I don't know if there is a second one. I don't think so, but if there is a second one, for whoever knows the description of that, do put it down in the comment section below so people can see it. But anyway, beginning with the first one, 1 year banquet. At the child's 1 year anniversary ritual, the child reaches out, oblivious, while the adults watch on expectant. When the hand goes to the right, everyone smiles. When the hand goes to the left, everyone becomes anxious. What do they grab might decide their future career. Number 2 is wedding banquet. After calming the parents squabbling over the dowry, after nodding blankly at the distant relatives who would not stop sermonizing, the newlyweds sit in a corner, finally alone, and tuck into dishes that have already grown cold. They smile wryly at one another, relieved that the worst is past. Number 3 is birthday banquet. The siblings who see each other only once a year are arguing over whose birthday present shows the most love for their parents again. Why is it that you miss them when they are away but find them bothersome when they are around? However, when everyone's favorite dish is served, the mood around the dinner table lightens up slightly. Number 4 is funeral banquet. The one who is gone worries no longer. It is only those left behind who worry. And the final stage here on the very right is 3 meals a day. Vanity is all that matters when you eat to be seen by others. Only you will ever know what the meal truly tastes like. And yeah, those are the S stages. I do like the mini story here of the S stages, at least the 1 through 4. That is pretty much the circle of life. From the early years as an infant, then to the wedding, then to having your own children, and then the last one is, well, the passing of the loved ones. And yeah, the circle of life, right? But anyway, let us hop over to the medals. Beginning at the bottom of the list of the medals, we have Worldly Tastes Medal. While out on a stroll, you absorb the city's vibrant charm. The snack shop just outside the academy gates, the food stand on your way home from work, the luxurious restaurant that caters grand birthday banquets. In Baizao, there is a different flavor for each stage of life. The next one is A Tune of Goodbye. You listen to your friend list their regrets. Life is bitter and short, reunions are few, but partings are many. There are also those you shall never see again. Baizao Sightseeing Medal. You have taken in the city's thriving grandeur. There are those who are sacrificed and those who make choices. You witness the hidden price of this prosperity. Then we have the Liver of Steel Medal. You accepted an invitation to drink and managed to get your companion completely hammered. At a banquet, a few drinks are meant to lift the mood, but if someone insists on more, you will be compelled to match their zeal with even heartier toasts. Of course you will. Then we have the Food Guardian Medal. You visited one of the nodes in Baizao's efficient food supply chain and stopped a thief from stealing food. You seized 2 tails of animal meat from the thief, perfectly balanced at a 3:7 fat to lean ratio. Why only 2 tails? Because I only take what I can eat. It's a crime to waste food. What an honest reply. Then we have the Food Explorer Medal. You helped the author of Baizao Cuisine and Food Culture finish her book. Some readers see a vivid depiction of Baizao's prosperity, while others glimpse her personal memories woven throughout its pages. Then we have the Elegant Gourmet Medal. You were invited to attend a grand feast. There is no one specific Baizao estate. Instead, Baizao has all the flavors under the sun. Spicy, sweet, tangy, salty, you get the idea. Visitors from all over the world find a sense of belonging here. The Conversationalist Medal. You've become a regular at Savors at Use and have started chatting with the owner as he picks the vegetables. You know every piece of town gossip. When the foul beast will return from the neighbor's roof, which nursery rhyme the scallion seller's grandson just learned. Absolutely everything. Then we have the Historian. You accepted the Historian's family visit application, along with a carefully selected Hundred Delicacy. You have heard from your operators of her talent, her story, and her regrets. Soon you will watch her write a new chapter in her own history. The final one here is simply titled Reunion. Under the full moon in Baizao, you have witnessed so many reunions and separations. Put out enough bowls and chopsticks to accommodate all the invited guests. If you wait long enough, they may just all show up. And our final blurb of text here is on the main metal page here in the menu. Such is the joy of our reunion, engraved metal set. An engraved metal set depicting the customs of Baizao and the joys and sorrows that occurred there. 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch and dinner. They encapsulate the vast array of life's diverse experiences. Yet at their core, there's simply a handful of ingredients melding together to create the spice of life. And I would say that is all there is to the stories here. So let's move on to the closing words and segments before I leave you guys off into the clip section. Right then, this was a story, all right. This story was definitely having its message on the sleeve the entire time through, like the whole reunion thing, then the partings, the heartbreaks. There was so much. I really enjoyed this story. To be also fair, I did so far enjoy every single one of the Sui stories. And yes, that also means the first one, the Forge. That one was just goofy as hell. I do not mind that one. But yeah, this was pretty good. For many reasons. One being that it finally explained Blaze's backstory and fully explored that. So now we know who her parents are. Her foster parents are, and who her actual parent is. We still don't know who her actual father is, but we do know that she is the child of the Grand Preceptor that was accused of treason, and then, stuff happened. She's not around anymore. But yeah, we now know her heritage, where she comes from, and it was about time that we learn about that stuff, because my god, that stuff has been teased for forever at this point. Blaze's story got teased from the moment she became a playable operator, and even the main story, I think, teased some small elements of her background. But yeah, when she became playable is when the first teases happened. Plus, when Lazy got introduced as a playable character, which is, by the way, Lazy as a playable character has been around since oh god, somewhere around chapter 6 of the main story got released, or chapter 7. I don't actually remember when exactly, but she has been around for a long time, and the voice lines that come with her have also been teasing Blaze's background and what it entails. And then very recently, when Blaze's, I think her first module got released, another piece of the puzzle got added to the fact that there is finally some evidence as to, okay, what is happening with her father and everything, what transpired, why he died and everything, and now we know the full story, and I'm happy with that. Even though it's a sad story, of course, I'm still happy with the fact that we finally got the answers to the questions that have been around for like 4 or 5 years, 4 years at least at this point. Some things in this game take a long while. But then also we got the answer as to when this story, like this whole Sui story is taking place in, like the years and stuff. We finally got the confirmation of the fact that it's the year 1102, which is, as a reminder, 4 years after the events of Act 2 finish. Chapter 14 ends in the year 1098. Somewhere in the late half of the year, and this is pretty much 40 years later exact, almost exact maybe, but yeah, 4 years later, and the entire Sui story probably began like a year prior to this, so now we have a timeline, which is great, something that we should have known for a long while, but but anyway, it's also fascinating to think about the fact that when this whole Sui story began, again as a reminder, the first part of the Sui storyline got released in year 1 of the game. Not even the full year of the game, like half anniversary or something. So, yeah, that is a huge thing if you think about it. That is a huge thing if you really, really think about it. That it took so long for anything to get to this point, and that it took so long to actually get a confirmation as to when this whole thing is taking place. Which also answers the one big question that I've seen a lot of people complain about when they talk about the Sui stories, that they feel like they don't really have a connection to the stories because it feels so so distant from the rest of the story of the game. And this is pretty much the explanation as to why. It is the whole story is set so far ahead that it's kind of hard to mention anything or tease anything from the main story, because nothing, especially back then when all of this started, nothing has been yet set in stone, so they can't really talk about anything. Even in this story, they really didn't talk about anything specific from the main story, even though they could have said something at this point, but they still refuse to do so. And another thing to think about, funny thing to think about as well, is that the Sui story is really just its own big story arc. All the way from the beginning of the Forge story to where we are right now, it is still something that keeps on going, and again, like I said multiple times, it will keep on going until probably until we clear the Sui thing, the big boy, and who knows when that will come. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed the story, and that we got answers to Blaze's past and so on and so forth, and a lot of other stuff. Then character-wise, well, what else to say? Yin is interesting. Even though I heard people, I haven't looked at her skills properly yet, but I heard people say that her skills are not the best as a playable character. But she's a sweet one, and it personally makes me happy to see that she and Blaze found each other, and that now they will. They're pretty much a family. They're pretty much a proper family now between each other, which is gonna be interesting if that is gonna be followed up in any shape or form in the future. But I guess we'll see about that. Yu was super wholesome. Have God, the little guy is quirky, a bit full of himself, likes to be complimented. Gets very full of himself when you compliment him, and yeah, he's a nice little mood. Needs to be protected. The guy loves his siblings probably way more than the rest of them love each other. He has probably at least the way he displays it, he has probably the highest compassion for all of them, and just doesn't want to see anything bad happen to them, which is heartbreaking. That scene is still pretty strong. That one with him talking about his siblings and dinners and stuff. And yeah, then we had a couple of scenes with Zuo appearing in the story. Didn't really do much outside of being present, so can't really say much anything here, but something is being set up with him for the future. We'll see what that entails. Lazy, on the other hand, had quite a lot of setup for future developments. We'll see where that goes. She's, again, just like Blaze, she has been with the game, and she has been trickled into the game so many times. As another reminder, her showing her face in story cutscenes. I do not remember if in the Sui story she was ever shown with like the hood down, but which is kind of funny because we all know how she looks. But she has not been properly shown like hood down or doing anything else in the Sui stories outside of she appeared for a brief moment. That was that, and from I think both from invitation, I think from specifically Invitation to Wine, we learn about the fact that she and Zuo are somehow kind of like a niece and nephew kind of deal. But we didn't get many more details on that, so that was interesting to see. But yeah, her story is for now, I guess, set up for whatever comes next, and we'll see what comes next for her in the future. There is some stuff, but I'm not gonna talk about that for now. There's some playable stuff. and I'm not gonna talk about that for now. But you guys will see in the future when we get to that, I guess. Story-wise, I have no idea what the next story entails. I do know that there is another Yan story that will come out in the next couple of months. I think there was another Yan story, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I have no idea about that one, what it entails as always. So, not gonna say anything because I can't say anything. I don't know anything. We'll see, I guess. We'll see. Then the other siblings appeared very rarely. Like, Yi appeared a couple of times, but again, his story was kind of already explained, told, and everything in the Shu story. Shu didn't at all appear, which is funny. Which is very funny. Then Ling appeared, Chongye appeared, but he only appeared in like the flashback sequence at the beginning of the game. Beginning of the story. Dusk and Nian appeared for a brief moment there at the end as well. They are, I guess they're turning on the heart. I guess they're turning on the mechanical heart that they built to keep themselves alive. Again, no conclusion on that or what the hell happened next, so who the hell knows. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Outside of that, our supporting cast, the old man Ning Shu. Not really much I can say about the old guy outside of very sneaky. He really went for it to deal with matters those 40 years ago, like really assassinating a person from the government and then getting away with it for 40 years. Good God. Also the fact that he did get found out by Yu Chang, but very late into the whole development, but mostly that Blaze and Yin's father, Gu Xuan, was the one who actually found out the whole truth way ahead of him, is very interesting. The guy might have been just in a minor role in the ministry as a Mandarin, but good God, the guy had a sniffer when he put it down to work. All the respect for Blaze's dad. That guy went through a lot of stuff, especially seeing him sitting there and just having to observe his own daughter from a distance and not being able to properly talk to her, which makes the scene again where he actually talks to her for the first time in that study so much more heartbreaking. Especially wishing her a happy birthday like his own daughter, but his own daughter doesn't know that that is her father. But she definitely, but like she said, she definitely had a feeling that it might be that she has some connection to him, but she doesn't know what it is, what the pull is that she feels. Oh, that was a scene. That was a scene. But yeah, then Yu Chang already that I mentioned. Again, another character that did some drastic measures to get some stuff moving, but at the same time, he knows he broke the law. He knows he has to suffer for it. Even reinforcing the government officials to actually go through with it. I do love is also seen during the hearing in front of the Mandarins when they were questioning him at the beginning, where he was pretty much just cheekily teasing them like, I might be saying the truth, I might be lying, who knows? I love scenes like that when someone's being the cheeky little shit just to teach the government stuff like that in that kind of capacity, in stories at least. That is very fun. That is a very fun thing indeed. Then we have Yu's little apprentice Jiang. Again, I said it earlier in this episode. The guy was fun. Didn't really do much in the story, but I do love the reveal of him being a candle holder. That was peak. That was a great reveal. Like, again, the story did tease that he knows definitely something about Yu, like that Yu is probably a Sui, or that he's been around for a long while, but or who Yu is essentially. But they don't say anything specific until the reveal happens, and then we get the whole rigmarole of candle holder and everything. Very interesting guy. I wonder if he's gonna show up again in the future, if you're gonna see him even in official candle holder robes and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Then we have the other Mandarin from that was accompanying Lazy, Ji Zhen. Can't really say much about the guy outside of Vigilante, I guess. And I mean, he did give himself up to the law, so he's gonna be put in jail and trial, I guess. But I don't know what to think about the guy outside of he's a bit cheeky. Feels a bit like the I'm hot shit, but I'm also lazy kind of guy. So I don't know. I guess we'll see in the future if he actually returns for some reason. Then we have Taihei, and I am very happy that Taihei reappeared in the story and that they actually show that he's okay. He did definitely suffer. I mean, the guy was nursing for like a good couple of weeks and months at this point, and definitely the repercussions can be well. We hear about the repercussions, but we don't see him. I'm actually surprised that even still they don't show him outside of the Mandarin robes. We still don't have like a full body sprite of the guy outside of, again, the cloak that he wears the entire time, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm happy to see that the guy is back and that he is still being good old Taihei. And I hope he's gonna return in the future. Now, for the other supporting cast, Grand Tutor, what was the other guy? The Grand Commandant and stuff like that. Don't really have much to say. They're repeat characters, especially the Grand Tutor. So don't really have much to say about them. Liang Shun doing his sneaky shit on the side as well. Very interesting development with the guy. I do wonder where he is gonna go towards when it comes to this whole mess. True Lung was definitely interesting, considering, again, this is the younger brother of Wei and Wu, and we've heard rumors about the guy, but never actually got to, and I'm gonna say this in quotes, see him. We still didn't get to see him, and I do wonder if they keeping this real for a future part. I mean, they are brothers, I'm presuming, and he's a Lung, so I'm presuming he's just, like, he's gonna be looking like very similar like Wei and Wu, but maybe a slightly bit younger, in like a facial expression, and probably a different color palette, but slightly different color palette, but I don't know why they don't show him. Like, come on, it's his brother. Can we not see him? But we'll see. I do love that they actually show that the guy has remorse and a guilty conscience, essentially, and I guess we'll see where that will lead to in the future. How Yan is gonna change from here onwards because of him actually potentially pardoning, as that whole pardon thing was taking place in his head for now. But I do hope that he will actually go through with that and pardon all of these people that should have never been on the receiving end, essentially. But yeah, Mabufu, the chef of that big restaurant, I don't really have much to say about him outside of that he was pretty much stuck for a long time, searching for you, and I'm just happy for the guy that he actually is now free of this obsession, essentially, and can move on with his life as well. I guess according to what he was saying there at the end, he's gonna leave his cooking prowess to multiple people. Like, he actually listened to the whole thing that was being told to him by you, that it's kind of like a shame if just one person has this knowledge and skills instead of multiple people to spread the culinary stuff around so more people can benefit from it. So, very nice. We'll see. Maybe he's gonna reappear, maybe not. Who knows? Then a couple of surprise guests that appear at the end of the story once more. The Faramut known as Ya. Well, didn't expect to see him or it again. that was interesting. And the old Tianchi being back as well. They are being very cheeky with that character. I don't know what to think about her. Like, I don't think they're insinuating there that she is maybe a Faramut herself. They keep calling her old Tianchi, so she must have been around for a long while. She also has those interesting horns on her head. I don't know who she could be. It's interesting. She has fire abilities as well, but she has the horns, but she has also like ornaments on herself that look like wings of birds. So I don't even know where to put her. All I can think about her is like Phoenix? Maybe? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe she is a Faramut. Maybe she's another Faramut proxy or something. From a different one, that is. But I guess we're gonna have to wait until we get an explanation to her. Maybe she's just a long-lived one as well. That could also be the case. We have a lot of those. in pretty much every country has at least one so far. So maybe she is the long-lived one for Yan? Who knows? And yeah, Wei and Wu as well being in the story was a nice addition as well. Again, with what his brother said at the end, it seems that his brother is preparing to leave Yan to Wei and Wu, which is that is a huge implication if Wei and Wu actually becomes like the Emperor of Yan, essentially. Oh my god, that is a big step up. They also teased a lot about the sibling that died all those years ago when they entered the chamber with the Sui. So I don't know what to think about that because they keep bringing it up a lot. They even this time brought up Shi Xiao, considering the sword is supposed to be a sword that kills dragons. So I don't know. Also, they insinuated a lot of times that Shi Xiao has its own mindset. I would love a twist that when what's her name again? Jie? Was that the name of the sister? I think that was the name of the sister. When she died and no one knew what happened to her, I would love that the twist was that Shi Xiao absorbed her, a fragment of her or her soul. And that's why Shi Xiao is so headstrong and reluctant in some cases. That would be a fun twist. But the story also left on a note of that the Sui is now more in a pacified state and might actually reconsider letting out its anger against Yan itself. It would be also an interesting twist if the Sui this time around or in the next story actually makes a proxy that is controlled directly by him, like is him essentially. Pretty much like Kiera in Kierag, right? She is also the proxy, the physical human form of the Faramut Kieragander. So it would be a very funny thing if the Sui decides to also be like, well, I'm gonna make a human body and I'm gonna control it and go around and check out the human realm and how it changed over the 1,000 plus years that I was asleep, to see if it's better these days or if I can still go on a rampage. It would be a fun twist. I would appreciate that. That would be actually very fun to see how it would develop, how people would react to it, how the siblings would react to having the Sui be around and mingle with them. Like, I mean, pretty much, even though they are essentially the same being, all of them put together, would still be interesting to see Big Daddy walk among the kids. I wonder what shape he would take up then. That would be interesting. Would he be just like an old man with a beard, or would he actually make himself look young? Fun little theory, I would say. But again, we'll see. We'll see. There is a lot. And yeah, I guess that's about that. I guess the only thing I didn't mention is the Junior Drill Master and the Imperial Guard. The Imperial Guard, I will say, looks absolutely amazing. That is a lot of edge. And I love every bit of it. There is something to like Chinese uniforms and battle attire and dresses. There is just drip. The Chinese just have drip when it comes to this stuff, and I love it. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We also never gotten the name for the Junior Drill Master. She was introduced, had a full sprite, but we never got to know her name, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I guess that is that for this story completely. So yeah, TLDR, really enjoyed the story. Definitely one of the better Sui stories so far. And once again, the Sui plotline is like mostly in the background until the last couple of minutes. That is kind of like the case with pretty much every Sui story. Every one of them. Going from the beginning, like Ancient Forge, you get the bulk of like foreshadowing right at the end. Who is Real? The Dusk story. Again, you get the bulk of stuff of foreshadowing and history at the end of the story. Invitation to Wine. Pretty much, Ling is the poster child for the story, doesn't appear until the end of the story. And, well, properly doesn't appear until the end of the story. And that's also where the bulk of the information again is. Vernal Winds is a tiny bit different because Chongye is very present in the story. But again, the bulk of stuff happens at the end, as per usual. Shu story, again, similar to Vernal Winds, Shu is very present in her story, but even in her story, nothing much happens around the Sui until the very end, where we got a couple of very interesting reveals. And the same case here. There's like an alpha and a beta plot. The beta plot is honestly always different, which in this case the beta plot I would say is the Blaze story and surrounding her and everything, and the Long stuff. And the alpha plot, which should be the dominant one, the Sui story, is kind of like the secondary. It's kind of like swapping alpha and beta. The arrangement of those two for all of these Sui stories. But yeah, overall it was very enjoyable. It was fun to do. A shit ton of characters, my god. And allowed me to do some experimentation at the end with some stuff for future purposes once again. I do like when stories offer me this opportunity to do something unique and maybe wake someone up from a slumber. That voice will be something. I do hope I can use it in the future for something else again. But yeah, anyway, this is a already long ramble segment where I keep on going forever, it seems. But I think we shall wrap it up here and leave it at that. The next story is, from what I've seen, around the corner. Pretty much in the same week where this episode is gonna go live. But the next one is a vignette story, and it's gonna be probably very short. Or shorter, probably, compared to this. But anyway, I'm excited to see it and see what is in it. And you guys will see it when it goes up on the channel later in the week. But for now, thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed. If you did so, please consider leaving a like. It will help out a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Like I said at the beginning of this video, pretty much everything under the sun Arknights story related is on the channel. So just search up the name of the story and you will find it and enjoy. And yeah, if you want to support me more directly, memberships are open. As always, no video will be behind the membership. It's purely there for support. Thank you to all the members already doing so. Much appreciated. And yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are. Enjoy the clips that are following after this, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye. I've been with you for quite a few years now. Yep, 15 whole years. You've stuck around the longest out of all of your associates, Candleholder. Oh! Okay, that makes sense. Hey, that's a twist. Now that's a twist I did not see coming. Okay, that makes sense. I was suspicious already on this guy of like who he is and stuff like that, because he definitely felt like he knew something about you and stuff like that. He definitely let on that he knows more that than what it seems like. Okay, he's a candle holder. Oh boy, okay.
Don't worry, I have no plans to fight you alone.
I know I asked to tag along. Oh, you bitch. Another person. If this is preposterous enough, then allow me to inconsequentially join the fray as well. What the shit? This is actually cool right now. Oh. Dusk. What is that face? What is that face?
When she vanished, I spent every day thinking about her.
Oh no. Oh fuck, hi. Hi. Yeah. How's it going? Yeah.
Are you lot still thinking about that thing under Baizao?
That thing under Baizao. Ooh. There's something else on there? Ooh. Oh my god. Oh my god, what are you two doing here? What the shit? Hi?
Impressive swordplay. In the many years since we last met, your swordplay has turned incomparable.
Oh, I gotta just guess. It's Shen. Come on. It's probably Shen, is it? Yup. Oh, come on. How many characters are gonna cram into the story in the last 5 minutes? Holy crap!